Khan Academy Multiply Fractions, subtopic Fraction Multiplication as Scaling. Compare using greater than, less than, or equal to. 16 times 3/3 compares to 16. So what I'm going to look at here is 16 times 3/3. 3/3 is really the same as 1. So 16 times 1 is really 16. So that's going to be that these are equal to. Okay, and then how did I know that my answer is correct? Choosing one answer, because we are multiplying 16 by a fraction that is less than 1, because we are multiplying 16 by a fraction that is equal to 1. 3/3 is equal to 1, so B is my correct answer. Which expressions are less than 7/8? So 7/8 times 9/15, 7/8 times 3/4, 7/8 times 9/9, and 7/8 times 4/3. So in this case, we're multiplying 7/8 by another fraction, a part of a whole. 7/8 times another part of a whole. So these two are going to give us less than 7/8. This one is 7/8 times 1. So that would give us an answer of 7/8, which is not less than 7/8. So C cannot work. And then here, 7/8 times 4/3. 4/3 is actually more than 1 because 3/3 would be 1. So 4/3 is more than the whole. So if we're multiplying it by more than the whole, we're going to get a larger number than 7/8. Is the product of each expression less than, equal to, or greater than 3/4? So for some reason, the fraction bars did not show up in here, but we can still figure this out. So 15/10 times 3/4. So we know we have 3/4, and we're multiplying it here by a number greater than 1. So because 15 over 10 is greater than 1. So that means we're going to get an answer greater than 3/4. Here we have 3/4, and again, we're multiplying it by a number greater than 1, 3 and 1/2. So we're again going to get a number greater than 3/4. Again, 3/4, and we're multiplying it by 11/16. This is a number less than 1, so we're going to get a number that is less than 3/4. Without multiplying, order the following products from least to greatest. So notice that in each of these, 3.5 stays consistent. So here we're doing 3.5 times 1, which is just going to be 3.5. Here we have 3.5 times 5/4. 5/4 is a number bigger than 1, so we're going to get an answer bigger than 3.5. And then here we have a fraction 1/7, which is a number smaller than 1. So this is going to give us the least answer. This is going to give us 3.5, and this is going to give us an answer bigger than 3.5. Compare using greater than, less than, or equal to. So 72 times 3/7 compares with 72. Well, 72 times 3/7, this is a number less than 1, so that's going to give us a smaller answer than 72. And then down here, how do we know that it's correct? Because we're multiplying 72 by a fraction less than 1. If this fraction was the same as 1, we would get equal. If this fraction was greater than 1, then this number would have been larger. Which expressions are greater than 250? So in this case, our 250 stays consistent in each answer. So we need to look for where are we multiplying by a number bigger than 1? Well, 9/8 is larger than 1. 9/10 is not bigger than 1. 2 is also bigger than 1. And 1/6 is less than 1. So our two answers are A and C. Is the product of each expression less than, equal to, or greater than 49? So our 49 stays consistent in all three, so we're looking at what we're multiplying it by. Here, we're multiplying by 7/8, which is a number less than 1, so we're going to get a number less than 49. Here, we're multiplying by 5/2. That's greater than 1, so we're going to get a number greater than 49. Here, we're multiplying by 3/3. That is 1, so that 49 times 1 is going to be equal to 49.